has not been here before? I feel like there are faces that I don't recognize. 1, 2, okay, cool. Sometimes my eyesight's not so good either, so when I'm up here, I don't notice. So, hang on, we're telling more followers to join. Oh, I'm reading the thing from Instagram. I'm like, what is it saying for us? Okay. Okay, so this month is all about renewal, and when I've been really thinking about that a lot. When we are in these transitional phases of our life, and I think everything is a transitional phase. That's what it feels like to me anyway. That feels right to me, that everything can be a transitional phase. And and there's parts of us that like we're used to our life being one way, and then something shifts, and maybe it's just something like a job shift. Job shifts can be very transformational as well, just because of the fact that you have to get used to totally different people, a whole new group of humans, things like that. Then there's things that we take with us from because everything's like a past life. And you guys may have heard me tell this story before, but my husband, when he was growing up, he was a cattle rancher. And so in me knowing him, I have a really funny story. People in Northwest Indiana, and I lived in Northwest Indiana for like 7 or 8 years, and my girlfriend there, she'd never heard the term skater before. And so I was telling her about him when I was dating him, and I said, I don't know, he's a chiropractor, but he's like the skater guy, snowboarder skater guy. And she goes, like a figure skater? I was like, no. But then, so there's that persona that I know of him, but he grew up on a cattle ranch. And I don't know that side of his life, right? And so one day we were hiking, and there was just this random cow in the middle of the trail, and she was pregnant. And so sometimes they can get kind of sketchy, I guess, when they're pregnant. And so he's like, just, stay back. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this sound comes out of his mouth that I had never heard before. And he like slapped his leg, and the cow just like took off running. And I was like, what? That was like magic. How did you do that? And he's like, it was so funny because it was like his past life, right? Something from his past life, from a different incarnation showed up and went forward, and like he knew what to do with it, and then got the cow moving, and the cow was happy, and I was happy, and I just like, and there was something also about just watching that, how we do that. We call on weird skills from our past experiences, but then as we transform into the new phases of our life, those things don't necessarily go away. They're still there to support us. They're still there to sustain us in one way or another. But then the cool thing is that we can just call on it like a file out of nowhere, So as we're meeting life's challenges, and we're meeting the changes and the shifting and the things that show up in our life that give us like I would say like hard lessons, right? Like those knuckle rub type lessons that it's like, oh, I'm having to transform and shift and change again. Or I just thought everything got comfortable, and now it's having to change again. Just remember that you have all this really cool life experience that's like stacked up down underneath you that you are going to be able to call on, out of nowhere. Things that you thought were super random and you would never ever need in a million years, and then it's there. Poof. And it's just amazing. Welcome. Are you new?
Yes.
Cool. How'd you find out about us?
Through my cousin Corinne.
Cool. Thank you. I love it when people bring people up. It makes me happy. So as we go into our meditation tonight, just kind of giving ourselves the ability to reflect on that a little bit. Like, all of our life experiences really are for our betterment, even when they seem dodgy in one way or another. They really are for our betterment, and we are going to be able to pull them and use them and carry us into another thing. Okay, last story, because you guys know that I'm the storyteller. So And this story, I know you guys would have heard me say probably before too, but I rode my bike to the farm on Saturday to get my produce, and I talked to the girl that was running the thing, and she said, "Do you run Zen Life?" And I said, I do." And then you could tell that she was kind of curious how I knew Mark, the man who owns the farm so well. And I said, I used to have a restaurant, and Mark brought my produce to me. Like, he brought my microgreens and all of the stuff that we made, our mushrooms and all of the things that we had for our restaurant. She's like, "Oh, that's so cool. You had a restaurant. Did you like it?" Da, da, da. And I said, "I did. I loved it." And I said, and every day I would look out over the restaurant, and I would, like, while I was cooking in the back, and I would kind of look out over, and I would see everybody out there. And I would think, this is what heaven's going to be like. Like, there were just really cute old heterosexual couples sitting there talking to really cute young gay couples, and they were like best friends. And in the real world, they would never talk to each other. And there, they were like, their tables were next to each other and talking, and like they were best friends. And I would just sit there every day, and I was like, this is what heaven's going to be like. Everybody's going to love everybody, and it's going to be wonderful. And when my restaurant life went away, I thought, I'll never have that again. And I do. And when I was talking to her, I was like, oh, it really just hit me really hard, like my own words that I say to other people, but it like really, really hit me. I was like, I thought that lightning could only strike once in one spot, but there wasn't lightning, it was me. Like, it was me. It's the effort and the energy that I put into whatever that is. So whatever you guys want in your life, it's you. Like, you will have it, you can create it, you can make it happen. And if you did anything even one time that was super cool, that means that you can do super cool things over and over and over and over and over again. It's just that simple, weirdly. Okie dokie, artichokes. So who's got a pretty good, solid meditation practice right now? And I'm saying solid would be 3 to 4 times a week. Okay, all right. So then I'll guide you guys instead of just leaving you on your little lily pads and float you off into the ocean. Okay. So Quentin, is the air conditioning on? Did you feel it? Like, all of a sudden it got like warmer in here? Yeah.
Yeah, I just turned it to 75.
Oh yeah, turn it down.
70.
I would turn it down to 67 degrees so it doesn't shut off, because it's never going to cool down.
Anyone else who needs blankets now, grab them.
Yeah, they're fine. And then, and then just shut off the back lights, and then we'll turn down the front ones just a little bit. Okay.
And everyone's phones are either off or on silent, right?
Yeah. Yes. All right. So if you're not comfortable sitting upright, you are welcome to lie down. If you lie down, remember to put your feet on the floor and your knees to the ceiling and your hands on your belly so you don't fall asleep. And you do want to make sure that you don't use the bolster as a pillow, because it'll cut off your airway, which is not good. Okay. Otherwise, we'll just sit up nice and tall. And as we sit up tall, kind of like rolling your shoulders back and raising up from the crown of your head, tucking your chin slightly, and kind of wiggling your jaw a little bit. Make sure that you've released the tension there. And then nice soft smile on your face. Allow that, what you created on the top with the loose face, soft smile, but then again this, humble chin but proud chest, and then allow that to just settle down your spine into your hips, and then feel your sits bones kind of roll into the cushion. And then you can have your palms face up if you want to, and you can do Chin Mudra with your hands if you choose to, which is your thumb and index finger lightly touching. You can have palms face down if you want to. You can have your hands in a cupping position in your lap. And again, to kind of refresh on that, if you feel more feminine energy tonight, just go ahead and take your left hand and put it underneath your right. If you feel more masculine energy tonight, your right hand underneath your left. And then just take a nice big deep breath in. Everybody breathe in. And let it go. Notice how when everybody makes that sound, it just almost feels like a little bath to your central nervous system. So let's go ahead and we'll do that again. Everybody inhale in. And then let that go. Allowing ourselves to just sit with the intention that we are 100% safe in this moment. This area and this space is a nice, clean, energetic space. And everybody comes to a meditation class just to feel a little bit more grounded and a little bit more centered. And to be able to reconnect with their higher self and their connection to their source. And that's the type of energy we all want to be with. If you haven't done so already, you can, with your eyes closed, of course, taking that imaginary gaze point up to your third eye, where you feel like your third eye is, just a little bit above your brow line, and then in about 1.5 to 2 inches. You're sitting there and just kind of really feeling your body, starting to pay attention to what everything feels like on the inside of your body. It's later in the day, maybe you ate earlier, maybe you can feel digestive enzymes working away on your behalf. Maybe you can be aware of the feeling of the lungs filling up with air and then releasing air. Maybe you can be aware of the feeling of the air passing back and forth down your throat. Maybe you're able to really start to settle in to your heartbeat now. This beautiful organ. Notice if you can feel it. Notice if you can hear it. Now I'd like you to picture, imagine, or think about your heart. This beautiful, beautiful organ. This heart that is the key that can connect us back to the energy that is all around us and emanating through us. There's a little access point that's toward the top of your heart and a little bit over to the left. And that area is the area that can connect you to that meaning of self that exists inside of you. This is the part of you that can bring you to where you hope to be in this life and in the next. Sometimes this part of your heart can be shielded because of so much pain. In your life, growing up, or even in your adult life. And your body works very hard to protect it. So it can cover it with almost like a steel door or a wall. If you feel that there's a wall there, tonight we can just put some roses at the wall. Roses are a beautiful symbol of love. A very high vibration. And we can thank that door, that wall for keeping us safe. And let it know that when we're ready, we can ask it to soften so that it can let some light back in to our beautiful access point that could connect us again to the self. And then you can picture or imagine a beautiful beam of light Going from that area in your heart, straight up, out to infinity, and connecting to a beautiful, 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 brilliant bright light. And notice how that brilliant, bright white light is soft, radiant, filled with love. All the billions and billions of light particles that are in there, every energy, every soul, and you. And noticing how there's no difference between you and the other light that's in there. It's all beautiful. It's all you. It's all us. Allow yourself to, almost like a stream, that you're riding down this beam of light back to that area in your heart. Notice if anything's different about it. If your wall or your protector is still there, it's so okay. Just cover it in roses and know that it's there to protect you and it's fine. But if it's gone, trust your beam. Feeling yourself be in a space back on your cushion. Being very aware of your heart beating in your chest. Trusting that it's been renewed, new knowledge, connectedness. You had an opportunity to remove all of your separateness. And now bring your awareness to the outside of your body. And even with your eyes closed, feeling the energy of the other people in the room. Just sending love to each person in the room. And just taking a moment to recognize that if each person is doing this, how much love each one of us is receiving right now. And just allow yourself to feel that vibration for a moment. Start reconnecting with your breath. You can start to allow a little bit more organic movement into your body. And at your own time and own pace, you can open up your eyes when you're ready. Okay. So how'd that feel for everybody? I hope you guys could feel that gushiness and that like lift at the end there. I did. Who has little walls on their hearts? I do. Yeah. You know, it's an interesting thing. We get hurt so many times in our life by different things. We just go, you know. But then what that does is it cuts us off from other things. But it's okay. Those walls are there to protect you. That's its job. And there will come a time when you can let it go. It just takes time, you know. So, but there's this, it's really cool when you think about this. As we were reading the Upanishads this year, I became obsessed with the one thing that I kept talking about was that we have to get connected with our hearts so that we can connect with the self, big S, self. We can't do it any other way. And so, and until we do that, and sometimes we have to feel ugly things, sometimes we have to feel sad things. And in order to be able to do that, and then once we can get there, then we can just like, we can plug into it. So, and then it's really yummy. But, and then the other thing is being aware, allowing ourselves to be aware enough that that's what's happening so that we can feel that vibration. So anyway, does anybody have anything that they want to share?
I felt like I was sleeping. Like I felt like I was in deep, deep sleep.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I could barely hear you.
Really?
Yeah. I kept like coming back and being like, oh, she's talking.
so it was working, I guess. That's cool. Yes.
I just want to say thank you for that, like ending part of the love, because love has been like a huge thing on my mind right now about like that's really what our purpose is in this life, is to learn love for ourselves, but to also give to others. And I think that I had just a sense of, and I think a lot of people do with love, where it's conditional, or if you give love, you expect to receive it back. But able in that moment just be able to share the love that I have and not expect anything back, but also not to see anything coming back, and but be able to feel it and just know that I can actually feel that every single day in my life if I just continue to give and like love myself. It was just a big aha moment of like I can freely give it and just allow it to exist.
Yes.
And it's that simple.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's so scary for us.
Yeah.
It's so scary, you know, but yeah, it really is that simple.
That's beautiful. So thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Next week, let me think. So we don't have any Thursday night special things going on. And this Sunday we are closed for Easter. I didn't want anybody to have to find a sub for anything because I have a lot of mommies that are teachers. And I just wanted everybody to be able to like hang out with their kiddos and do their fun stuff, and it'll be nice. You know, this idea of like renew, refresh, starting over. You know, when we think of like from a Christian perspective, there's like this idea of, you know, Christ rising from the 3 days of dormancy and then coming back to life and showing us that we're all capable of that. And so that's what I'm talking about. Like everything is this resurrection. Like everything is this continual resurrection. We go through really horrible things sometimes in our life, and then we're able to rise up again from it. So, but we have to give this little heart some love, you know, in this little spot right here on our heart, especially. Okay. And then the next week is we have the circling class, and that is on Thursday. And Earth Day, I think, is next week too. So go plant a tree somewhere, or some flowers or something. Go get some produce, eat an apple, do something. Okay. And then we have the circling class, which is the middle road class, and that's the authentic relating class. So that is on the next Thursday. Then on Saturday, that last Saturday of the month, we have that is World Qigong Day. And then we have a really, really cool special Qigong class that's in the afternoon, and or it starts at noon, I think, and that is offered by Nacho. He is a really good Qigong teacher, and he's coming to teach a really cool workshop on that, so for World Qigong Day. So if you want to try that, if you are into any form of energy work, like right now I'm getting acupuncture, and the acupuncturist just keeps saying like Qigong's like one of the best things that you can do to get all the meridians moving in your body and get everything opened up. And so it would be cool. You should try it. All right, that's it.